موارد فاينانس فالك طيب.
We will be going into one of the most sensitive stages in the journey of any fintech. How a startup can move from just an idea to scale up in a market. In Silicon Valley, we see hundreds and hundreds of companies who make it toward the seed fund or maybe even Series A of funding, but they never go to scale up. So how scale up work in UAE? To know more about it, we invited some of the most experienced and insightful people in the region. So let us welcome our panelists for the next panel, starting with Soliman, CEO of Arab Financial Service Company. And Ammar Afif, CEO at Cashew Payment Holding. Patrick Ghata, Head of Financial Services at DMCC. Patrick. Hi Patrick, welcome aboard. Please have a seat. And Hanan Sbai, Director for East Arabia Division at Mastercard Middle East and Africa. Hanan, welcome aboard. And moderating this panel is Sharad Gupta, partner at ALP UK and UAE, and he will be our moderator for this panel. Welcome. So while giving 2 minutes for Sharad to be ready, I invite you to pick up your phone again and go to the QR code, the second one, panel 2, and give us some of your insight as well and vote for the questions. The answers to your questions will guide our panelists on how to direct their speech. So leave you, Sharad. You are the captain of the ship now. Good luck.
Enablers that allow, I think now I'm audible, yeah. We are here to discuss key enablers that allow fintech startups to move beyond the launch phase to scale sustainably within the financial ecosystem. In order to deconstruct this, I have a very expert panel with me here on the stage. It comprises of people who have started, built and scaled up fintechs, and or are building and creating an ecosystem in an environment where fintechs can grow and scale up in the UAE. To start with, Samir, how do you see fintechs leveraging payment processing infrastructure to support high growth and regional expansion within the GCC?
Thank you for the question. I think this is a very interesting point that we bring about. I think the most critical aspect for fintechs when they choose their partners is basically identifying partners who are having vested interest in their product and having vested interest in making sure that the fintech is successful longer term. So when a fintech is established, you need to decide who are my partners, which markets I'm going to go for, and does this partner have access to these markets? Is it starting here and ending here, or is it a long-term strategy? So it is very important for the fintechs to choose these partners. there are lots of fintechs that comes into the industry or into the business, and they get disrupted actually by the partners that they have chosen at their initial phase, because they are, when they start an idea, they're desperate, they just sign with the first one who agrees with what they do. But I think strategic selection or thoughtful process around selecting your partner is quite critical, and this partner needs to have the interest in collaboration. Again, collaboration, it's not about the investment, it's about the partner and the choice of the partner.
Thank you, Ammar. Ammar, one of the challenges for fintechs to grow within the region is to both attract capital as well as partnerships with regulated financial institutions, because both capital as well as credibility is super important for a financial technology firm to grow. Someone like you who have done this very successfully in the past, how do you do that?
Sure. Thank you for having me here, and thank you for the question. Not to date myself, but I was in Silicon Valley 20 years ago. That was where most of my experience was. When fintechs first launched, it was all about replacing the banks, right? They wanted to replace banks. They thought they were going to take over. Banks were dinosaurs. Eventually, and even banks sort of dismissed fintechs. They said these are small entities. Who cares about them? Over time, both sides found out that there's a big need for both of them. Fintechs thought that if we can partner up with these banks, they can really help us accelerate. They can help us grow. And the same thing for banks. They said, these guys have innovative products. They can help us, launch new products, get to market faster. And so that's when the collaboration started. And, since then in the US, there's been lots of partnerships, massive amounts of investments from banks to fintechs. For us, in this region, I think that's starting to happen now. You've seen some, investments coming in from banks towards fintechs. I think for a fintech to attract capital, the biggest cost, mostly depending on what you're offering, is the cost of regulatory, cost of licensing, cost of acquisition of consumers, cost of acquisition of merchants. Again, depending on what you're doing. There's one common theme. Every single company, every bank, every public company has one goal, which is to increase top line, right? So they want to grow their top line, they want to grow revenue, they want to grow transactions, they want to grow customers. So as a fintech, I think one of the paths to approach these banks is to show them that, we can enable you to do that, right? We can enable you to grow top line. Even if it's a marketing thing, we can help you improve customer experience, which will improve top line as well. So that I think is one of the key. The other key is never, for us, don't go into a bank and say this is how much it costs, right? It's all about partnership here, and partnership usually means let's build this together. Let's grow this thing. Let's get you more customers. Let's get you more revenue. Let's get you more XYZ, and then we can share a piece of that as well. And so, having a bank on board, it gives you enormous leverage. It gives you credibility. It gives you a great name on the cap table. It also provides you with some sort of regulatory cover. It also gives you a great place to pilot things as well, right? Because no bank is going to come in and say, here's all my customers, do whatever you want. And so it's a great way to pilot things. And I think that is what the market needs in terms of investors. Once they see that a bank is on board, once they see, okay, there's traction here, the bank is happy because you are building top line for them. And then it becomes a lot easier for fintechs to attract capital. The last thing I would say is that valuations are always important, but I would say working with a bank, you have to be able to make that decision that I'll give them a good deal, I'll give them a lower valuation because they're going to help me get to the next step. Often fintechs are looking for what's the next deal, what's the highest valuation I can get. And I would say when you're working with a bank or you're working with them that can provide you so many other, so much other powder, it's very important to consider, hey, let's get into a partnership where it's a win-win for both sides.
Thank you, Ammar. Thank you for your insights. Patrick, we are very blessed to be here in the UAE where the government and the leadership is very supportive of building an ecosystem which fosters collaboration, openness, transparency, entrepreneurship, and that's the reason why we have such a thriving technology and fintech ecosystem here in the UAE. How do free zones and government-backed platforms like DMCC support the scaling journey for financial startups?
Thank you for having me, and good morning, everyone. From DMC perspective, we are firm believers that startups play an important and a huge role in the growth of global economies, and in UAE it's no different to that. So from DMC perspective, we provide a lot of solutions and value-added services for these startups, not only to have legal presence in UAE, but also to grow and scale their businesses in the community. So from corporate structures, we provide multiple licensing solutions for these startups to choose from based their requirement. Historically, we've seen the startups opt for a startup package for obvious reasons, of course, because it's the easiest, most affordable, and less bureaucratic way of setting up a business in UAE. However, we've seen that as and when the business grows, they opt for a different requirements, or they might take some sort of a presence, physical presence in a business center, or to have a fully fledged office in one of the towers in GFP. From a support perspective, we have partnered with business incubators, and the role of this incubator is basically to support and grow the startups, and providing mentorship, leadership thoughts, access to markets, and any support required for these startups to stand on their feet and to maybe become a little bit more bigger in terms of scale, in terms of business. At the MCC, we also provide access to funding, which is very crucial for these startups. So in collaboration with our partners such as DFI and Brink, we have run multiple accelerator programs, which we have received almost 1,000 applications to get access to funding from these accelerators. And we have seen good numbers that have been successful in achieving these funds. Moreover, we have done our second edition of the hackathon in partnership with Bybit, in which the winner of this hackathon received a pool prize of $160,000. On top of all of this, at the MCC, we have around 1,700 companies under the financial sector. A lot of these are home offices or family offices, investment companies, SPVs, holding companies, and these will look at the MCC as a platform to provide or to look at investment opportunities. On the other hand, we have all these startups that are within the MCC that also look at the MCC for some funding opportunities. And this is where the MCC comes and bridge the gap between both, and we create some networking opportunities where we bring the investors to meet the founders to discuss business opportunities and investment opportunities as well. Now I can go on and discuss our crypto center and other financial solutions that we have for these startups, but I know that we have to be wary of time. So I will end it here. And on the final note, I just want to say that at the MCC, our role is not only to attract businesses, but also to grow them and retain them.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Patrick. Hanan, getting a banking license is both difficult, very expensive, and maybe not even desirable for a young fintech startup. But they do need a platform, they do need a regulatory cover to grow and do business. Earlier in the day, your colleague touched upon some of the services that Mastercard is bringing to the table for fintechs under Fintech Express. You want to talk about the role of cards as a service, cash, in helping fintech scale without a banking license?
Thank you for the question, and hi everyone. So just if we take one step back, so basically, the world is evolving so fast, and the fintech really they need to catch up with that scale. And the belief that we think that fintech and banks they compete, but actually it's really wrong. So because they cooperate, and while the banks they have the reach and they have the trust, so the fintech they have agility and innovation, so they need both each other. And actually Mastercard they are playing that bridge, and we bring them together through different programs, how we can help them to launch faster and secure and all of that. So basically we have 3 programs. So the first one, we call it Build, which is the FinTech Express that my colleague touched on. And this is just the perfect example how we can partner with AFS and Mawarid, like Mawarid to be a BIN sponsor, and AFS bring in that processing platform, and the FinTech, they have full-fledged stack solution to launch fast. They can have card issuance, they can have processing, compliance, security, and support, and reducing that regulatory friction that Samir touched on earlier. And all the licensing that you touch on, that's where Mawarid bringing that into the picture. So having the central bank license and all of that. So that's one example of the program. And all fintech in the room, please reach out to Samir or to Mawarid. So, and us as well, we can help you with that launch fast and secure and safe. So the second part of that program Build, we have an developer API sandbox. So we can help them with, tokenization, digital issuance, alert for risks. And this is how we can enable also our enabler, that they can have like ready-made solution, that they focus on the business, not on the build and the stack and all of that. So the second program, it's Engage. So this is more advanced. I will not say a startup, but more advanced banks or partners where they need really to scale to global market, like the of Talif, for instance, that we can connect them with our partners and etc. The last one is the growth. So now that they build, or the startup, they need to grow and they need to scale. So we have a program called Start Path Program, and that is the program that helps them connecting with other banks across other markets and other enablers. We can even Mastercard invest in them in certain cases, and they can also part of our investors network, so that will help them also with the funding. So expertise, network, funding. So this is how we position ourselves, is like we are the orchestrator between the fintech enablers and the banks. So and recently I like what DMCC shared. So recently we did also an AI competition in collaboration with the Ministry of AI, and the prize was $150,000. And they will do a POC, proof of concept, with the bank. So this is just another example how we can help fintech to grow, to have visibility, to access our partners and network, to scale and to grow.
Thank you so much, Hanan, and thank you for the incredible work Mastercard and all of you guys, including Mawarid, are doing to support the fintech ecosystem here in the UAE. I think we have time for 1, maybe 2 questions. So anyone has any questions, then happy to take them.
Good morning. Very pleased to see my dear friend, long teammate, Samir, and the rest of the team. I am Salih Jafar from ESG MENA. We are the first and only ESG knowledge hub in the Middle East. I would really like, and yesterday by coincidence, I was having a discussion in Abu Dhabi on this ESG and Fintech. How can we build up the connection in between in today's world?
let me try and take that, because we ourselves do some work in the ESG space, more from an analytics point of view. ESG today is central to the governments and the central banks globally as part of the agenda towards 2030, towards net zero goals, to achieve the net zero goals. Now, the philosophy behind banks and financial institutions getting involved in the ESG efforts is ultimately money talks, and if banks and financial institutions decide to fund ESG compliant projects, then that sort of drives the whole drive towards cleaning the ecosystem. One area where fintechs are working today is helping banks and financial institutions to look at the analytics part of ESG, what the regulators want, what the banks can do from a stress testing of the portfolio, whether it is driving or changing the lending policies to support some of the cleaner sectors of the economy, and how the fundamental change can be made at the borrower level itself to become more carbon neutral or more greener. And that is one area where we have seen a number of fintechs collaborating with banks and financial institutions in sort of guiding them in that direction. So that is something that we probably think about.
And any role of AI in this regard within the fintech?
Sorry?
And what about AI? Any potential for AI to accelerate that in terms of data?
I mean, today, if you were to look at the use of artificial intelligence, that's probably all pervasive in every single aspect of life. When I look at, I started my banking career in '99, which was the time when .com boom was at its peak. After that, we saw in 2000 what happened. There was the .com crash, everything burned down. But the reality remains that the .com/internet fundamentally changed everything in the last 25 years. Everything. The way we commute, the way we communicate, the way we shop, the way we travel, everything. In our view, that AI is going to have the same fundamental. This is the '99 moment of AI. There will be a lot of investment that will go into AI, which may not necessarily lead to the full potential and the full return on investment, but AI is fundamentally going to change everything. And when you're looking at ESG as a topic in particular, one of the areas, and this is more specifically from banks and financial institutions perspective, one of the areas which is very important is data and how do you analyze data. Today, the traditional models of analyzing data is passé. So unless you build machine learning and use of AI, you'll never be able to extract the full value of data and come up with ESG solutions which are not only required to solve the climate crisis, but at the same time, you don't want the economy to choke. So you need to build finer models, you need to have better analytics, very targeted approach to lending, and that can only be driven through artificial intelligence.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, thank you. Thank you for your time, and thank you everyone on the panel.